East Lansing High School, home to one of the best boys basketball programs in all of Michigan. The team is led by head coach Steve Finamore. The 2016 Michigan High School Boys Coach of the Year is entering his 8th season with the Trojans, but his journey to coaching started long before that.
When I was 16 years old, I'll say that was 1980, 81-ish, I coached a group of 13-year-olds in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, New York. It was a Catholic school, and they asked me to be the coach because they didn't have anyone. And I was surprised and shocked because when I played, when I was a young kid, I was uncoachable. I never listened to the coach. I did my own thing. So now here I am, 40 years later, and I'm teaching kids how to play basketball, and so that's how I started getting into it.
Since those days in Brooklyn, Finamore has coached at every level, but he took a long road to get to where he is now.
We're all on a journey, and I know it's a cliche, but I was lost. I had no idea where to go. I took wrong turns. I made poor choices, made bad decisions as a teenager. Like you said, I dropped out 5 different times. I went to 3 different high schools, dropped out 5 different times, and I was ashamed of that for a long time. And I hid it a lot. I used to lie a lot about it, say I did go to high school, blah, blah, blah. But then probably like in my mid to late 30s, I started realizing, hey, my story, can be inspiring to someone, and it could motivate someone, maybe a non-traditional student, an adult, to go back to school.
Finamore's past helps him inspire and motivate his players, sometimes even guys with personal troubles of their own.
I had a young man at Jackson Community College by the name of Nick Minarath, who's from Boston, Massachusetts, Cape Cod actually, and he came out and played with us, and we like to realize that we helped him turn his life around, and he's admitted it in stories and stuff. He's bounced around Europe, played with some NBA teams in summer leagues, and he was addicted to drugs, addicted to just not doing the right thing, rebelling, and he really turned his life around playing for us.
So, along with basketball, there are other things Finamore's players can learn.
The number one lesson is to be a good person, because I think in my eyes character is important, because I had bad character, poor character when I was a teenager. And I think, work ethic is number 2. You got to have good character and good work ethic, a strong work ethic, in order to have a chance at success.
One player who has had a lot of success is senior forward Brandon Johns, who has played for Finamore all 4 years of high school.
When Brandon Johns came to us in 9th grade, my only goal was, make sure I don't mess it up, make sure he gets better, he improves each day when he comes here, and he's a good teammate, and we really feel that Brandon's accomplished those things.
Johns has accomplished all that and more, as he'll be playing for the University of Michigan next fall. And of course, Finamore helped him a lot in the recruiting process.
He played a big part. It was just, it kind of showed me how to handle a lot of the stuff, and how to take it in aspect of how will I handle it, and just to be humble about everything, and just keep it moving.
Finamore has impacted Johns a lot, but that doesn't mean he's not invested in all of his other players as well.
He cares about him just like he cares about his own daughter. I know he's always thinking, we have discussions, hey, what's this kid doing? Is he doing this? We go over with each other what kids are doing with grades. So we're both constantly looking at what these kids are doing off the court to keep them on the court.
Balancing academics and sports can sometimes be tough on a student. In Finamore's eyes, you need to have certain traits in order to be able to coach kids.
I think you need compassion when someone's struggling, when someone's not playing well, when someone's not doing well in school. You got to have compassion for that person. You're a leader, and you have to lead by example, not just by talking. Your actions, people have to look at you and say, wow, Coach Finamore's doing the right thing. And probably empathy. Empathy is real important. It's kind of connected to compassion.
Finamore is perfect proof of leading by example. And when it comes to compassion, he wants all of his players to know that he really does care.
Players don't care about how much you know. All they care about is how much you care. So you got to come in this gym with a selfless mindset that if you're going out there before practice, if you're the first one here and you're taking some shots by yourself, the coach should be underneath the rim, getting the rebounds and passing it to him. I think you go in with an open mind, an open heart and a clear mind. I think you just got to show the player that they can trust you, and you got to show the player that you're there to get them better.
Along with winning, of course, that's what Finamore wants. For his players to get better and for them to grow.
If I can impact one kid each year, I feel I've done a pretty good job, because there's no way you're going to impact 12 players. There's no way, because these kids are so set in their ways. You know, you just want to make sure they come on the court, compete, play the right way, and be a great teammate. And off the court, you know, I can't really do anything about that. I really can't, as much as I try.
So why does he keep trying? What is it that drives Finamore to coach and teach these kids?
I coach because I missed out. I missed out being coached by someone. My father left me when I was 6, and I never had a male role model. And I saw a lot of my friends who had coaches and fathers. And so what I try to do is I try to pay it back to maybe someone who doesn't have that. I want to be the coach that I never had with these kids. So that's why I coach, probably. And I love basketball. I love basketball. I've been playing, since I was 5 years old.
Because of that love for basketball, Steve Finamore is now able to be that coach for hundreds of kids. For Journ 400 News,
We're not getting to tennis, Casey, so I'm
I'm John Simon.